Now, what you need to get is this: many of our youth these days in this part of the world find it the policy, the economy has made it very difficult for many people to scale through. So, are you going to say that if someone hasn't gotten it before 30, means the person has missed the mark?
No, that's not what I'm saying. There is still chance, it's taking chance among the 14% that is left. If you read the man that it was at 66 under a tree where he is writing his suicide mission, that he came to his senses after deciding he's a failure. Everything he had done before then was a failure, and he was about to commit suicide. And one man asked him, "Is there nothing more you can do?" He said, "I can fly chicken." And he picked up his spirit and went back home and started flying chicken and starts sending it to different people's house. And from there, he created this flying child that is all over the world today. And by 88, he became a billionaire in US dollar. There's nothing that says you cannot make it in 70, but it's like a pyramid. It's thinned down. It's getting slower. The foundation base, 86%, is within that thin age. But as it's going either, it's getting narrower. You can make it at 88, but you are like the last 1% in the number of the people that made it. As your age is getting, because as you are getting older, you are become more risk averse. You begin to value life. By 15, 17, if you see me driving motorbike, you think I'm going to die the following day. I climb on top of bike, I lift my hand. Death doesn't cross my mind. You are more advanced to take risk at that. If you run management, even at management level, they will take you to high mountain and things like that, because you need things that will scare you to build confidence, to be able to make decisions and risk. So, but if you are young and start taking those risks, it helps you to get matured, because business is also a risk. You need to take business risk and decisions, tough decisions. It is by things you have confronted in life that will give you the courage to know when to advance in that particular time. Many people, are so like standing on the gap. They just feel we can't go beyond here. You don't succeed with things like that. You must dear life. You must take challenges. I'm a very confident person. Actually, if you want to understand how life operates, you require 3 things to succeed in life. Number 1 is vision. Vision is the art, seeing the end before you start the journey. It's about the destination, the picture you paint in your mind, the thing that excitement you have because you believe you are going to get there. The second thing you require is faith to believe in your vision. Nobody can talk you out of it. You will be willing to be laughed at. If you are not prepared for people to laugh at you, you are not heading to anywhere in life. Being laughed at is part of the package for success. But when that vision crystallizes in your mind, you see something no other person is seeing. And the people don't say you are crazy, then your vision is not from God. Because you have to be so possessed with it till you are almost like a mental person that nobody will believe you. Because every true vision has one believer. You are the only believer of your vision. Your mother don't believe you. I've left my mother on the road because she disagreed with me when I'm telling her what I'm going to do. My mother was in my car with my wife after I had my plans and vision. And I told my mom, I said, by 25, I will be a millionaire. He told me to stop talking like that. That irritates her. That the way I talk turns her stomach. I said, Mom, I didn't insult you. By 25, I will make my first 1 million naira. He said, if I say that again, he will get away. He get out on the car. I stopped the car, went to her ear, said, Mom, 2 more years. If you like, get down. She got down. I jumped the car, start the car, and move away. My wife asked me, are you out of your mind? I said, I can also drop you. And I left. And I made my first $2 million by the age of 24, not 25.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Where I'm still living today in my village that I built it before I turned 25.
Can you imagine?
So by 15, I had clear vision of where I wanted to be, and I wrote them down, not in my head. Because Bible says, that's where I'm coming from, Bible principle, that if you have a vision, write it down. At 15, I wrote that by 18, I want to live in 3 bedrooms apartment of my own. By 20, I want to take a lady to altar as a wife. And by 21st, I want to have a son, a male boy. And 23, I want to own a car. And by 25, I want to be a millionaire. I didn't have it in my head. I wrote it down. I placed it on the wall of my bed. You can call it a ritual. You can call it anything. It will be the last thing I will look at before I sleep. It will be the last thing I will look before I go out in the morning. To remind me where I'm going. So if I meet me on the street, you are talking to me, I am listening to you with one mind. Everything you are saying, I'm taking you and I'm placing you into those things and see whether you belong there. If you don't fit in into any of those 5 things, I cut you out because you're a distraction in my life. If you're a young lady and I become your friend and you want me to have sex with you, I cut you off because unwanted child cannot take me there. I had clear sense of direction. So the first thing is vision. The second thing is faith, to believe in your vision. And the third thing is courage to act in your vision. Courage is not an absence of fear. It's ability to act in the face of danger. If I perish, I perish. You are so confident about where you are going and who you want to be. Nobody can talk you away from it. My late wife, God bless her memory, when I eventually talked to her when I was 17, I was under 18 when I approached her. Because I have clear sense of purpose. My senior brother was still living with my mother, where I left my father's home, 2-bedroom, where we all live, and went and rent 3-bedroom apartment of myself. By 18, I was living in 3-bedrooms apartment because I planned for my life. And she asked me, where am I taking to her? I shared my vision. I said, by 20, we will be here. By 21, we will be here. By 22, she held my 2 hands and said, we do it together. That's why I tell young lady, don't ask a man, do you love me? That's the wrongest question to ask. If he doesn't love you, he will not talk to you. Ask him, share your vision with me. Where are you taking me? Don't marry any man that has no plan for his life, because you are going to hit some rock and disaster. So she's a visionary woman, and she married me against everybody in his family. His uncle shot me 3 times and told me he will kill me, that I brainwashed their daughter. Okay? Because she could see the fire burning inside of me, and I shared it. I took her to altar on September 23rd, 1978. I was to turn 20 years on December that day. I beat it by 3 months. I set goals and I beat them.
Now, which one do you think worked for you the most? Is it hard work? Is it connections or luck?
What works for me the most is mindset. No hard, I have no connection. I have nothing. Mindset. And those mindset comes from my faith. I believe in myself. You can never talk me out of myself. I'm confident on what God says about me. You can't talk me away from it. So by 20 years, I took a lady to altar. I did what husband did to their wife, but God knew these 2 baby cannot be making baby, and closed the womb. Because I wanted a son by 21. But my first son came at 26. It's not all your vision that will happen exactly the way you planned them. But I pursue my other vision. By 22, I bought my first car, Passat, Volkswagen, blue color. I beat it by 1 year. That was plan I had for 23. That was the car my mother was with me and we are traveling. And I told her what I'm going to do by 25. The truth is that you have to live an intentional life. What I tell young people, don't just sit down and say, I want to be successful. Ask yourself, how? How do they use mouth to be successful? The same thing, I want to be a doctor. How? Your analytic thinking click in. You need to be good in 5 science subjects. I need to be good in maths. I need to be good in extra maths. I need to be good in English. You don't have it. That's not the problem. You already identified what the problem is. Then you get a tutor, somebody who need to start teaching you. If you are intentional, 8 years from that day, you become a medical doctor. So it's a mindset. I want to be successful. How? By watching television every morning or by WhatsApping message to everybody. So you need to, when your analytic thinking come in, you start making provision And that's why if you don't have a job, go get a job.
Now the challenge now is the economy the way it is then when you are growing up.
You
It's
know,
totally different from what it is now.
This is excuse.
Yes, but you know, it's something that people are facing every day. Now, if you see the average person in this era that we are now, you made all these things while you were very young, from your early 20s, like you said. But the average person, the average youth these days, maybe 25, maybe 30, they are even still in their parents' house. So the economy. That
is where their major problem is, because parents has not done good job with their children. There are parents who still support 30 years kids, giving them money.
It's bad.
It's bad. Absolutely, it's bad. It's bad. How could you still have a child that is 30 years and you are giving him pocket money, still collecting money from you, living in your own house?
So you chase him away?
Of course. Do you know how ego treat their own children? The ignorant live with their mom under the chair, but at a certain time, he takes his children to a flight. He tear off all those coating that he put. Only thorns are there so that the children will not. Nobody grow in a comfort zone. You grow in a difficult condition. If life continues. Every human being, none of us, Henry Ford said, nobody is incapable of doing more than he or she think he can. But we all limit ourselves. If I tell you now that all of you can jump up and hit this ceiling, now you tell me there's no spring in your leg. If the 5 lions drop here now to eat us, you will reach your full potential. Your spring will grow in your leg. You will be surprised how you are hanging on top of this thing by the time the lion gone. Because you know lion don't jump up. Because at that time, something will release adrenaline in you.
Survival instinct.
Survival instinct. Things you never believe you can. So if you stay in a normal comfort zone, no, I cannot. No, I cannot. We are not made like that. But if situation confronts you with it, so that's why they say necessity is the mother of invention. There are many things I never believed I could. So the death of my father was opportunity. This hardship we have in Nigeria is opportunity for growth. It's opportunity for development. But some Nigerians are taking it as an excuse of not doing anything. You need to confront life.
Now, what is the number one trait you see in someone that you can say this person is going to be successful, or this person is not going to be successful?
I won't call it a trait. I was just said, what is it that excites you about people? I love people who are hard work, people who are purposeful driven. Life is about fulfilling a purpose. We are not just born to eat food and die. So when I see an individual that is very intentional in what he do, you could be a traffic warden. There are many traffic warden you see, you know there's a difference between this traffic warden. You could see the excitement on which he's passing traffic. Yes. He's enjoying what he's doing. He's not doing it with frustration. Because you can't make progress in things you are doing suffocating. That in itself attracts people, love and like for him because he's enjoying his job. So I like people who, when I see people who are that open-minded, I just say, watch this one. He will go places in life. Because you are controlling traffic today does not mean you are going to control traffic for the rest of your life. But you have one life to live. If that person moves into an office, he will have that same mindset and things. He's a product of future that will go places. So I don't call it a threat, but I call it an ingenuity that I see in people, and be able to identify somebody who is very purposeful and who will go place in life.
Do you think God created everybody to be successful?
Absolutely.
So that means, but even the Bible said there are the poor you will always have with you. Do you think there are people that God said you have to end up poor in your life?
What is your definition of poor?
Living low life like you started in your own life.
Okay, so please check your Western dictionary. Poor is not referring to people who lack. Poor refers to people who are unproductive. Yeah, poor does not mean you don't have money. Poor means you are not productive. That's the definition of dictionary about poor. So if you are ready to work hard, I've seen people who are blind, but they are richer than people who are working. My brother-in-law, my wife, immediate senior brother, is blind. He went to school. He's a lecturer. He lived in his own house. He had children. He had a wife. He doesn't want you to sympathize to him that it is. So sometimes I say, Sunday, are you sure you don't see? Because people don't know that the way God creates people, anything you lack in life, God gives you something to compensate for it. When you cannot see, your smelling is sharper. There are 5 senses God puts to somebody.
Yes.
The first time I started wondering, this man can see. The first thing, they pulled you close like this. He didn't know you have a body odor, but he smelled. So once he get close to you, he called your name. I said, this man must be seeing. He does not see. But because your other senses are dull, because your eyes can see. When you cannot see, your other senses are sharpened. People like me, because initially, growing up till the age of 11, 12, I cannot write. My retentive memory is sharper. There's nothing I discussed with you 40 years ago. If you put it like this, I just opened the chapter in my brain. The one in my brain is better than the one you have in your note, because he recorded. So that, because I couldn't make note to start to looking for where I made note, I made those notes in my brain. So people just underrate themselves, but God made everybody to be successful. Whether you are successful or not depends on your attitude, approach you have to life, to those things that God has made. I believe everybody can be successful.
Wow. So
yes.
Because some people believe that maybe they have been destined to.
No, there's no. That's the thing. Okay, what do you understand as destiny? Let me explain destiny to you. Because those are, I go to people's church, they start songs, Destiny Changer, come and change my destiny. When they get there, I keep quiet. I don't sing that song. And some people are asking, I said, why do I ask my destiny? I like my destiny. Why do you want it to change?
It is you that like your own destiny. What if they don't like their own?
Okay, so if you don't like it, you change it.
And that's why they are singing Destiny Changer.
Okay, so nobody will change it. They have to change it.
Themselves.
Not
God will come and change
No. Because God gave them power over everything. And I will explain. Destiny is like 2 clever young boys who believe they know everything. And then there's an ancient man in their village that is like an oracle who can tell you history about your life, interpret it. So these 2 young boys said, for the first time, we are going to make a fool out of this man because he thinks he knows too much. They went and got a bird, a small bird, and hid it in their bag. And met the ancient man and said, we come for mystery solving. We have a bird in our bag, and we just want you to tell us whether this bird is alive or dead. And they started giggling, because in their mind, the man will fail. If he said the bird is alive, they will squeeze the bird and show him a dead bird. If the man said the bird is dead, they will show him the bird that is alive, so that they will see his flesh. So they were laughing. The ancient man also started laughing. He said, why are you laughing? He said, no, we're all laughing. He said, okay, tell us whether this bird is alive or dead. The old man said, whether this bird is alive or dead is up to you.
Wow.
If you like, kill it. Because that is destiny. If you can read book, you've gone to school, and your father can pay your school fees, and you want to read medicine, you are a destined doctor. Whether you become doctor or not is up to you. Has nothing to do with your father. Because you can go to school and join renegades and run around all the round, play with all the girls or all the boys. At the end of 8 years, you will not graduate. Your father is not the person that didn't make you graduate. You refused to graduate. Let me give you another destination of destiny, what it looked like. An ancient man, a young man went to an ancient man and said, can you tell me what my future look like? The ancient man circled around a rebel and got a millipede. You know what is millipede? Esu. And put it on the ground and said, if this thing, a circle 2 round, 2 circle, 1 black, 1 white. He said, if this thing crawl into this white one, your future is very bright. If you crawl into this black one, you are doomed for life. And the young man will sit down. We are looking at the thing. The thing getting to the edge of the white thing. It started moving. Started coming here, move again, going to the white one. By the time he get to the edge of the black one, the young man took his hand, grabbed it and said, this is where I belong. That's what destiny is all about. You have to do something. They've already told you that if you go here, you will die. And you stay back and hold your hand and allow it to enter there.
I mean, you do something.
Tell me where I'm going to die so that I will not go there. Destiny is about, you know, if you accept the Lord Jesus Christ, you will be saved through the life of Christ. If you reject him, you are dead. And you said, you are waiting to be know whether you are destined. Your choice is your destiny. The choice you make, decide where you go. Did you think God was foolish to make man a free moral agent? When he give you choice and said, life and death I set before you. So it's the choice and decisions you made that shows what your destiny is. And when people are looking for who to blame, that's the age we are living in, an age of irresponsibility. Black man blame a white man for his predicamism. And everybody look for, but children blame their parents. Parents blame their children. Husband blame his wife. Wife blame his husband. This is the age where people are so irresponsible and want to blame every other person for what goes wrong in their life.
So that means if anything happen outside, anybody should take responsibility.
Of course, because everything you need to become a superstar is not outside of you. God put it in you when you are born. Nothing more you need outside of you. You need to look inward. There's no ungifted man. God never created anybody that is not gifted. Even a man or a woman with impediment of sight. Look inside. That's why there are people who cannot see, but their music is going all over the world. They can sing. Because they don't have sight does not mean they don't have voice. There's something God put in you that if you look inside and put into work, you will become a superstar. But it's easy to accept. I am misfortune. I have one lay hand. Therefore, I cannot do anything. So my job now is to beg for food because I have one lame hand. So there are people who take those difficulties as virtue because they use it to blame. The man that was blind said, "Oh, Jesus of Nazareth, have mercy on me." The people say, shut up, you are making noise. Bible says he cried loud the more. Because all of you can see. I've never seen. And you're telling me to keep quiet. It's you that have a need. You should cry out for that need. Until his voice oversaw the crowd and got the attention of Jesus. And Jesus said, "What would you that I do unto you?" You know, if the blind man doesn't have sense, he would have said, "Are you also blind? Don't you know I'm blind?" But Jesus wants you to say what you want him to do with your mouth. The blind man said, "That I might receive my sight." Jesus said, "Now you can see." You need to have a desire in your life. God cannot, you need to have plans for yourself and then you bring it under the feet of cross. But you can't sit down, live a prayerless life and say things are going wrong in your life and nobody can help you and all of that. What did you do? What effort have you made?
But you believe
listen, God put 5 billion cells. Go and Google it. It's what is in your brain. You've never used 12% of it. If you hit 14%, you become a genius. Because he made a man in his own image. The things that make him God is what he put in a man. God was not making mistake when he called his 2 children bless them. That's the thing parents should do to their children. But after that, you make a demand on them. Genesis 1:26 was God's vision for mankind. Let me make man in my own image. But after that, he wrote his mission statement, how man can be in his image, in Genesis 1:28. To be fruitful, to multiply the fruitfulness, to replenish the fruitfulness, to subdue the earth and to dominate. When you do that, you become God. So God never gave a man underwear, not even cloth, but he gave him a tree with a wool on it. God never gave a man shoe. He gave a man a cow, so that the man should not just look at cow. He could see a leather in a cow and make a shoe, because that's how you become like God. You are multiplying, you are dominating. You don't look at a tree and just see a tree. You see a wood, you can make a shear. If you want a bed, you make a bed. If you want a cloth, you see the wool and take the wool and the cotton and make a cloth. Then you become like God. You are adding value. You are creative. God created, and God make man a God on the earth to create. But what man cannot do for himself, God did for you. You can't create land, God give you land. You can't create animal, God give you animal. You can't create bird and God give you tree. But you should look beyond the things you are seeing and see how you can add value on it. So he said, when you do these things, when you want be fruitful, God came and said, be fruitful. It's a command on a potential. I put something in you, bring it out.
But do you believe that God created human beings for a purpose?
Yes, of course.
Good. Don't you think that it's possible for God to create a particular human being and said, your purpose is to be poor for me to achieve a certain goal?
No.
Okay.
Because that cannot make him a fair God.
Okay.
Remember, God is just. God is just.
Let me give you an example.
God is just and fair. So it can be. When I was growing up, I have also had this thinking you have. It's like small children thinking. I had it one time. Everything that's sweet is good. Everything that is bitter is very bad. When I grew up, I find out that many things that are sweet kill people, and many things that are bitter give people life.
Why? How?
Oh, you didn't know?
Describe.
Okay, please continue to take Fanta every day. Drink it. You are inviting diabetes in your life. You will get it. But please, eat bitter cola. It's very bitter, but it enhances and energizes part of your life. There are many things that are sweet that are not good for you, but there are many things that are bitter. If it's not bitter, actually, it will not cure you. So God have balances in all of these things in life. Let me further expand by letting you know that many things we think the way we think it is not exactly the way it is. In God's infinite wisdom and mercy, He created us for His own purpose. If you want to know the reason why God created a man, the motivation of a man creation is to have a manager. Nothing come to flourish until man came into existence. Go and read your Bible. Genesis 1 was the act of God, but the action of it is Genesis 2. Genesis 5, the earth is filled with rock, and there was no rain. Why? Read it now. Because there was no man to till the ground. God is looking for man. So once man was born, it rained, and man had to begin to put beauty. God put the first son He made and put him in the garden to dress it, to protect it. That means man was to walk. Work is motivation of God for creating a man, because man is here to continue to expand the earth, the creation of God, through His children, mankind. But many people have taken a work to be a curse. Work came in the Bible before the fall. Work was in existence before fall. So you need to apply yourself. A real man is not a man who goes to work and come back and keep a bottle of beer in the front of television. When you don't deploy yourself, people will employ you. There's nothing wrong for people to work.
But can I give an example?
there's nothing wrong for people to work, but salary doesn't make many people rich. Salary is a medicine for poverty, but it does not cure it.